There's this moment from the Parenthood show that still blows my mind when little Nicholas comes in running from outside and his big brother is like, yo, is that my shirt you got on? And Nicholas, with all the confidence in the world, fires back and says, please. Oh, whoa. Did he just drop the N-word on national television? Yo, as a child, I was blown. And it turns out Nicholas said it because he was listening to his older brother's rap tapes. Now, when I tell you the room went silent, everyone in that kitchen was shook, and so were we. Now, his parents were ducked off below the cabinet. I don't know what they was doing, but you know, I don't know what the Petersons had going on, but man, 90s TV didn't usually go there. But the Parenthood, oh, they went there with humor, love, and a whole lot of truth. See, this wasn't just some random family sitcom. Robert Townsend, he created a show that made you laugh, made you think, and sometimes he made you sit with those uncomfortable moments, like a real family would. But the Parenthood was far more than punchlines and parenting lessons. And I'm here as a nostalgia king to celebrate what made it special. This TV show here simply showed us what Black love, fatherhood, and community look like on screen. And of course, a little bit of comedy. And today, I'm giving it the flowers it's always deserved. So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. At the center of the show was Robert and Jerry Peterson, one of the best Black couples in TV history. See, Robert was the college professor, and he wasn't just a funny and firm dad. He was a reflection of what so many of us saw in our own fathers, or wish we had. Present, protective, playful. But the kids, they knew not to cross him. And Jerry, she was grace and strength personified. A successful lawyer, a loving mom, and a calm after Robert's storm when he was ready to lay the law down. Together, they showed us that parenting is a team sport. And they weren't perfect, but they were present. And in a world where Black families were often misrepresented, seeing the Petersons thrive, it was special and powerful. Now, let's be real. While mom and pops held it down, Nicholas, he stole the show, at least for me. He was the perfect mix of funny, sensitive, shy, and tough. One episode, he was cracking us up with his tiny little hustles, and the next, he's teaching us a life lesson without us even knowing it. He reminded us that being vulnerable does not make you weak, ladies and gentlemen. It makes you human. And speaking of comedy, I can't forget Wendell. Now look, a lot of us don't care about Faison Love. He ain't really, you know, it is what it is. We don't got to go there, but just know this character, Wendell, was perfect for the show. He had me rolling as Robert's goofy sidekick. Look, every Black family has that one uncle or family friend who shows up, eats your food, drops some wild advice, and disappears before the dishes get done. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Wendell. But here's where the Parenthood really stood out. It knew how to balance life with lessons. One minute you're cracking up at Wendell's latest scheme. Next, you're sitting with a message about respect, responsibility, for what it means to grow up in Black America. And before I forget, this show was definitely tapped into the culture. We had Usher pulling up to serenade Zaria on her 17th birthday. And if you were a little Black boy like me, you had a crush on Zaria. Don't lie. Yeah, you did. Megan Good, Tyrese, the OJs, Immature, Tevin Campbell, and even Olympic champion Gail Devers, she made an appearance. Look, the Parenthood wasn't just out here telling stories. It was connecting us to Black excellence in every episode. And what I love the most is that this show didn't preach, it led with action, showing us that discipline is love. Robert wasn't strict because he enjoyed it. He knew the world outside, it wasn't always forgiven. And that structure was a form of protection. It showed us that a strong marriage doesn't have to be loud. It's in the quiet moments, the teamwork, the inside jokes, and standing united when the kids try to play mom against dad. And it showed us that humor simply heals. Life gets heavy, especially for us. But if you can laugh, y'all, you can endure. That's a survival skill that our community has mastered for centuries. And at the end of the day, this all traces back to Robert Townsend, the man that gave us the 5 Heartbeats and Meteor Man. Love that film. That film is hilarious. And for my Disney lovers like myself, he gave us Up, Up, and Away. Oh, and don't forget Eddie Murphy's Raw, he directed that as well. And with the Parenthood, he gave us a reflection of ourselves. He made sure that we saw that Black families could be loving and funny, disciplined, ambitious, and normal. No gimmicks, just life in all its beauty and messiness. So today, as the Nostalgia King, I am honoring the Parenthood, not just as a sitcom, but as a reminder of what truly mattered. Family, love, laughter, and legacy. And if you grew up watching the Petersons like I did, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This junk was mad slept on. And if you didn't, go run it back. You'll see why this show hits different. It's streaming right now. I just watched it last night, by the way. And in the words of young Nicholas, no, not that word. Not that word. Ote. See y'all for the next video. Peace.